This is WhyBeAre with BeamNG.drive, and today we're going to be taking a look at a mod that works best in open space. Thankfully, we have a lot of open space right here, so let's go ahead and spawn this thing up. And this thing has a great name. It is called the Spinning Drum of Destruction, and that name is totally correct. It is in fact a spinning drum, and it definitely causes destruction. So you see the controls in the top right corner of the screen. We have RPM increase, RPM decrease, and a direction toggle. So let's just start it off simply and increase the RPM to max. And this thing goes 227 miles per hour, which looks like that. It doesn't look like 227 miles per hour, but it does destroy vehicles like it's moving at 227 miles per hour. For example, we have this pickup truck right here. We're not gonna have a pickup truck for long though, because the drum is gonna destroy this thing. So I'm gonna drive into the drum real slowly. I'm gonna use no slow-mo right here. So this is what it looks like when you go slowly with no slow-mo. You can actually see the destruction happen, and then the vehicle gets shot out of there like a cannonball. And surprisingly, most of the time, it's still pretty drivable. Like, it's pulling to the right for sure, but I could easily drive this thing if I really wanted to, and we could go for round two. And for round two, we could try going in the opposite direction, which doesn't always work. Let's see. That time it actually worked. The shorter the vehicle, the easier it is to go in the opposite direction, because the wheel wants to push you the direction you came from. It wants to push you in this direction, so if you drive under it like that, it works as a turbo boost a little bit. With the car being this short though, it didn't actually turbo us that much. It can't really grab the car when it just slides under really easily. If you have a nice tall car, then it really grabs it and chucks it. So we should be able to drive right under it again, super easy. You can tell it did slow me down a good bit, even though the car doesn't look any more damaged. This is about as damaged as it's probably gonna get, but we'll do one more run through this thing, see if anything changes. Not really. You could see the frame does look like it bent a little bit more, but I'm gonna call it quits with this test and give you guys a final look at the vehicle before we reset it. And let's slowly increase the size of the vehicle. So we're gonna get another D series, but it's gonna be the D35 Beast, which is a good bit bigger than the regular D series. And also the thing about the D35 Beast is it's bigger and it's faster. Like, it's one of those things where no vehicle should be this big and this fast. Here we are driving the Beast. So on this one, it should look pretty similar to the last one, except it's different. We're accelerating into it and we're using slow-mo. So it looks pretty close to the same speed as it goes under there, but it's actually happening 8 times faster. So let's see how drivable this thing is after the crushing. Looks like it's going in a straight line. I can still accelerate, I can still brake. It is good to go. And I noticed there's a big pointy part in the middle. I don't think we can go back under the drum in the opposite direction. So we gotta come through this direction once more and keep crushing it some more and see just how crushed it can get. So this time, no slow-mo, with acceleration. It kind of just shot me out and flipped me over. That's not good. Stop the engine real quick so it doesn't have any problems as I flip the truck back onto its correct side. How can the engine be starved of oil when it's not even turned on, game? Come on. All right, so can it still drive? Yes. How straight does it drive? Surprisingly straight. That is excellent. Although I still don't think we should go into the drum from that direction quite yet. I want to do one more, maybe even 2 more runs from this direction. Then we'll change directions. How about on this one, actually, we do it differently. Instead of going real fast at it, we'll do it slow again. I think slow might crush it a little bit more. So we'll just let it roll in at about 10 miles per hour. And it's just gonna get sucked up. Look at this. I'm not even accelerating. It just, oh man, it flung me. And can we get on our wheels? Up, it's upside down again. All right, let's just flip it back upright again. Shouldn't be too hard. What did I just grab? That's not the node I wanted. That was the door. I don't want to grab the door. I want to grab that node. Okay. So we don't have rear wheel drive anymore, but we still got front wheel drive to some extent. It's just enough to drag the vehicle along for one more attempt, but we are definitely not going to make it through on this side of it. We got to go to the other side, and how about we just back it in? Might be a little bit different. Instead of always driving forward, we'll back it in. See if that ruins the vehicle or not. And it is overheating. Hopefully it makes it before the engine just completely dies. There we go. In, and barely any change. Yeah, it's just been crushed really, really well already. So here's a look at the damage with a bunch of smoke in the way. There's actually 2 sources of smoke on this thing. I never usually notice that because no cars are big enough, but there's smoke from where the exhaust fell off, I guess, and then also smoke from where the radiator's leaking. Anyways, let's go ahead and reset this and try something completely different. Instead of driving into the drum, we're gonna drive along the side of the drum like so. We gotta be real careful here. We don't wanna get sucked in by the drum. We just wanna damage the truck a little bit. So, if you look at the truck from this angle, it looks perfectly fine, really. Like, you see, maybe the windshield's cracked, and that's about it. If you look at it from this side, well, it looks completely ruined. So they actually did a really good job of destroying just one side of the truck. Now let's try to destroy both sides. And actually, this thing is still driving pretty straight. I wasn't sure if it would because we're just trying to damage one side, but it's driving nice and straight, so it should make it pretty easy to get the other side destroyed as well. Perfect. Now both sides of the truck are destroyed, yet it is still very, very drivable. Also, I'm pretty sure we could do the same thing on either side of the drum, and probably the other side's easier because it'll push you away if you get too deep into it, where the side I was going on, it wants to suck you in. But yeah, that side, it's a lot more gentle because it pushes you away, but it'll definitely destroy the truck with enough attempts. You just one attempt did some damage. If we do 20 attempts, it'll look just like the other side, if not worse. Kind of came at an awkward angle for this one, though. I want to go a little bit harder into it. So yeah, no matter what, you're not going to damage it as much on that side because I drove into the drum a little bit and it still just kind of pushed me away. What we should do, actually, is we should drive into the drum directly with a fully functional vehicle. So we'll keep using the D35 Beast because it's working really well for this. There's a nice big vehicle that's perfect for the drum to really do some damage to. So I want to go fast. I want to go at least 60 miles per hour. We're going to just go straight at it like so. And there is the impact, and it just shoots me backwards. The engine is broken, and both of the drive shafts are broken, so this thing has no chance to drive, but it could steer still if you were to push it. And looking at the damage there, that looks ridiculous. The whole front is destroyed, and the back is pristine. There's not a scratch on it. So how about we do the opposite then? Instead of driving forward into the drum, we drive reverse into it, so we ruin just the back of the vehicle. Now, I don't know exactly how fast this thing will go in reverse, but I'm pretty sure it can go at least 40 miles per hour, which is actually a lot for a vehicle to go in reverse. So about 45. And ooh, it actually got in there pretty good. And it is completely drivable, right? Let's see. Going in a perfectly straight line, it looks like. And we got steering, we got acceleration, braking, everything we'd want. Yeah, it's working fine, even though it looks like this. You would not expect that to be the case. I wonder, with half the vehicle being crushed already, what would happen if we go for round 2 in reverse? Let's find out. So, lining it up in the exact same spot, we're going to go about 45 miles per hour again because I see no reason we would go any slower this time, and we might actually make it through. I don't know. Let's see. Full speed, and come on. Oh, no. Oh, no. My goodness. We are flying now. We actually flew out of the ring. That is complete destruction to the vehicle. Like, it kind of just got caught up in the drum and it slingshotted it out of there. That was impressive. And the damage here is not actually as bad as I would expect. It's just about as bad as it normally would be if we got crushed by the drum. That's all. But we're going to go with the T-Series now. We'll start with the smallest one, which is the T65 fifth wheel upfit. And if this works, we'll go with one of the bigger ones afterwards. But I'm really not sure if the T-Series will fit through this. We're getting to the point where the vehicles might be too big, especially this one because it has a real big solid front end. We'll see what happens though. We're going to crash into the wheel about 30 miles per hour. And, oh, it almost made it through. It is really, really close, but it's not quite making it. Let's try this again with a little bit more speed and see if that helps. And to make sure we get a little bit more speed, let's upgrade the vehicle just a little bit. I'm going to go to the engine right here. And instead of having the T300 turbocharger, give me the T600, and that should give us about 50 miles per hour, I would think, at impact, which might be enough to shove it through the drum. I always want to call it a wheel, but it's the drum. Or the tube, maybe the tube. It's all of those technically, right? So we're going to go about 45 miles per hour, so almost 50. And let's see, will it make it through? No, it will not. It is just a little bit too dense at the front. But you know what? I feel like even though this can't make it through, if we had the Wentworth DT40L, it might be able to make it through because the front of the DT40 is not as dense. It's a very easy to crush object, where the T-Series, it has a big fat engine in the front that's really hard to crush. And actually, if this works, I have an idea of how we could crush the T-Series after all. First though, let's see what happens with the Wentworth. We'll use 4 times slow-mo right here, going in at about 30 miles per hour. There is a crushing. Can it pull it through? Or is it going to stop right there? It's going to pull it. It's slowly pulling it. There we go. Oh, it grabbed it now. Oh, it just made it into a banana. Oh, man. Now it's suplexing it. That's ridiculous. It grabbed it and it's not letting go. Just going to full speed real quick and wow. That used to be a bus, believe it or not. I would not believe that somebody told me that was a bus at one time. Now it's just this fireball of doom. Ooh, what if we put a car under that and it got crushed by that? That'd be interesting. Let's just grab a Covet real quickly. Doesn't matter which one. Hopefully it still does that flinging maneuver by the time I get this thing lined up. It is. So I'm going to line up the car. Are we going to make it for this impact right here? Let's see. Nope, a little bit more. Here we go. Oh, man. That destroyed it so hard. And so fast. We need more slow-mo. Because I barely got to see what happened because it happened so fast. So for this one, we're going to use the maximum amount of slow-mo so we could really see just how badly it gets destroyed. So here is the impact. And oh my goodness. Would you look at that? It actually destroys it more than just the drum itself. That thing is now paper thin after just one impact. That thing is so violent and strong. Yeah, that is way thinner than even the drum can do. That is crazy. Now we are flying and flying and flying way out of the arena, even past the road this time. And this car is so thin. Oh, and the car is also blotting out the sun as it's on fire. That was just unbelievable. I knew it would get destroyed, but not like that. So if it can destroy a car like this that easily, what happens if we use something bigger and heavier? We're gonna get the Cement Mixer T-Series. Now, normally the T-Series cannot fit under the drum easily. With the Cement Mixer, it should be even more difficult, you would think, right? Let's find out. And again, we're gonna be using a ton of slow motion here. And with the slow motion, you can see the T-Series isn't really standing much of a chance. It still got flattened just like the Covet did. And now it's gonna actually get pulled into the drum. Will it fit under it this way? Oh my goodness, it might actually pull through. It is just getting completely mangled, but it made it under the drum with the assistance of the bus. That is insane. And then we just have this drum of fire and sparks and debris. There are parts everywhere from that. That made such a huge mess. I didn't even actually think it would go through, and well, now we just got parts scattered everywhere. That's all that's left too, just that little piece of metal. Oh man, we gotta do that again because that was something else. Okay, T-Series, I'm sorry to do this to you, but you're gonna get destroyed. Well, actually, maybe not. It's not really like swinging out as much. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. It just sucks it in and spits it out in this mangled mess of metal. This is one of those situations where I don't really think I've seen a T-Series destroyed more than this, especially not that fast. It's just instantly shredded to pieces. And I am kind of curious though, can we do this consistently? Like if I drive the bus into the drum again, will it still cause the bus to transform into this piece of metal that destroys everything in its path? Let's find out. We're gonna hit the thing at about the same speed, I think, 30 miles per hour. And it slowly sucks it in, and yeah, it can do that consistently. So you can easily crush things with the bus like that. That is awesome. But I do want to see, can the bus actually get through the wheel? So I'm going to get the hero version of the bus, which should be able to go quite a bit faster. I would think it'd be able to go maybe 60, 70 miles per hour before it makes contact with the drum. Oh, actually up to 80. It's surprisingly fast, and that's not supposed to happen. It's actually glitched everything out right there. And the drum is messed up a little bit, so I think I need to reset the drum. That one's the drum. I thought it was a T-Series at first. So we accelerate the drum again up to 100%. And then let's try this once more with the bus, because I think it can get through with enough speed. It really feels like it can. So again, up to about 80 miles per hour. And really? Okay, I have an idea what might cause that though. It might be because of the cape. I know for some reason, cloth materials in this game can cause issues like that when they get crushed. So I'm gonna just go ahead and remove the cape real quickly and see if that makes a difference. And if it just glitches out again, I'm gonna say that's the end. It can't happen. And I just realized I'm coming from a different angle. I don't know if we're gonna be faster or slower. Let's see. A little bit faster, up to about 95 miles per hour. And can we get through it? There we go. Okay, we made it through. And that's how I expected it to work the first time. And I like the fact that the engine is basically just sitting on the back right there. And the bus is so nice and flat. It's really easy to flatten the bus. And it's really funny to be looking like that. Like, the front is still intact. It's just been flattened. You can still clearly see the front of the bus, though. All right, so here's an idea, though. Can we get the T-Series through the drum if we back up into it? Because I think what might happen if we do this is it might be able to kind of suck it in. Because the problem before was it just couldn't crush the front enough. But if it's already grabbing the rear, it might make it easier to crush the other parts of the vehicle. So come on, crush that front. Fire everywhere. And all we have left is a metal frame. Everything on the metal frame has been shredded off. And it's long about, actually. Some of the pieces are stuck on the drum still. Some of them are on the ground. Just made a huge, big old mess. And somehow, the truck still beeps if you try to go in reverse. So how about I show you something you're not supposed to do and you probably shouldn't do, but it makes an interesting and unexpected outcome. So if you take any vehicle pretty much and drive into the side of the drum. Now we're not going to drive along the side of the drum. We're going to actually drive straight into it like so. This is what happens. It kind of just sucks the car up and the car becomes one with the drum. And I wonder how many cars can we actually shove into this thing? That's what I want to find out. So we'll start with the T-Series because it's already here, but I don't think it'll actually work. Yeah, it's just a little bit too big and too heavy and too slow. Although it really did destroy the front of it. Well, the whole front has just been torn off and it can no longer drive just from that little impact. Like, it didn't look like we were going very fast, but the drum sure was. So let's just grab a bunch of regular cars. We'll start with the Bishu Miramar Street Tune. And this thing should slide right into the drum, no problem. Yep, there we go. Now we're just going to keep adding vehicles to this thing. So the next vehicle we're going to add, well, it really doesn't matter, does it? Just anything works. So how about we do an Ibishu Pessima? We'll get the street tuned again. We're going to have a theme. The street tuned vehicles for a little bit until I pick a vehicle that doesn't have a street tuned version. I'm pretty much picking them at random, to be honest with you. All right, so we got enough room to get up to speed. We should be going about 40 miles per hour on impact. There we go. And into the drum. Perfect. It sucked it up and it has now become one with the drum. I'm actually kind of curious. Could we crush a car extra with the vehicles in the drum? That's something we're going to try. But first, let's add a couple more vehicles to the drum. This one's going to be ETK, which does not have a street tune version. I guess it kind of does, but it's not called street tune. So, it really doesn't matter. Point is, we have ETK. We crash ETK into drum. Drum sucks up vehicle. The drum becomes more deadly. And I want to throw one more car into the drum before we crush a car with it. And I want to see, does the drum force the cars to group together, or is that just kind of a coincidence in the way they crashed into it? So this car, I don't need to back up. It should be able to go fast enough, right? Yep. And it looks like what happens is the cars do get grouped together on the interior triangle pieces. You see, that's where they all lump together there. So anyways, we're going to crush an Ibishu Pessima. We have a Pessima in the drum, and we're going to crush a newer Pessima with that older Pessima. Now, I like that there are body panels still flying all over the place, even though I put those cars in the drum a while ago. So we got the slow-mo on, and let's see what happens here. Is it going to get hit by a car? Yes, it will. Perfect. Ooh, it does crush it extra, I think. And it even grabs it some with the extra car there. And how high is this thing going to go? It's going pretty high. We got airtime, and then we got destruction. Can we land on our wheels? No, we cannot, but I don't think this thing would drive very well anyways. And that's about going to do it for this video. If you guys have any ideas that might be fun to do with the drum, do leave a comment. And until next time, this has been WhyBeAre. And remember, if you like or dislike this video, I will know. I can tell by the rotation of the drum. So do the right thing, and I'll see you next time. Oh my goodness.